Hello everyone and welcome to round 7 of the BSKIT AMS2 Formula 1 League. We are here today in Monza for what I believe is the penultimate round in the series. We will shortly be finishing the practice session and then we'll be moving on to qualifying and a race shortly afterwards. Now this is an important one for kind of the two title protagonists. On one side you've got Findict in the Ferrari corner, who is in a very tight fight with Runelink 2 over here, who some of you may know better as Andre Katz if you've done any of the ACC events. Andre, and I believe it's a number 4 McLaren, but not out on track right now, and yeah, that's fine. I mean, there's like 15-20 seconds of practice left, so that's not a problem. Thank you very much for your sub, Runelink. It is much appreciated. Hello and good luck today. So it'll be an interesting battle. I do believe that Runelink can win and not definitely win the title today if Finn gets second and fastest lap. I think this is the kind of margins we're on about, so it's not a dead certainty. So that should make things slightly more interesting. Today, unfortunately, I don't have a co-commentator due to illnesses and availability issues. But nonetheless, we're here, we're streaming, we're live, and hopefully it all goes okay. By the way, for those of you who are watching, please do tell me if the frame rate's okay, if the audio balance is all okay, and if not, we'll see if we can change it. But unless I'm told otherwise, we'll just have to continue. So a little snapshot there of the times for practice. Don't really mean a fat lot. You know, people can push or not push depending on how they're wanting to use the practice session, whether it is for qualifying runs or whatever else. But now we start qualifying for real. Some early takers to the track. We have got Maximilian in the Red Bull and also Swift in the Haas going out pretty much straight away. We've got Fly High joining the track, and that is behind him Findict making his way out onto the track, I believe, or perhaps not. As he's possibly remembered, he hasn't quite made that one more setup change he needed to. So this will be an interesting qualifying session, I think. It's important, perhaps one of the most important of the season in terms of, you know, does Finn start ahead of Runelink or Runelink start ahead of Finn? Because either way is going to affect the way the battle plays out in the race. So I suspect they'll both be pushing it pretty damn hard today. I mean, you would be, wouldn't you? It's the penultimate race of the series, and yeah, you're not just going to ease off. So I do apologise. I appear to be yawning a lot all of a sudden, so I will try and talk in between that, but we should be fine. So it looks like only one driver yet to hit the track, and that is Triple L. Don't know if there's any particular reason for that. Maybe he's taking a quick break out. As I say that, they're out on track as well. So Finn there setting up for his first flying lap as Runelink's into his. We're braking at about the 100-meter mark. Looks pretty good so far, and hoping really for a smooth power application on the way out. Yes, so that return to pits has triggered the timing. So Finn goes to the top with a very disappointing 25.5, but that's not a representative lap at all. Don't read anything into that. So this will be the driver's first flyers, hoping they've got the tyre pressures and temperatures of the tyres and brakes where they need them to be. And this could be, is that a cheeky little tow being set up from Runelink's teammate ahead? I saw the sister McLaren there. It looks like there might be a little bit of organisation of a tow there. I think there was. That is impressive. That is that's some commitment, right? Well, that explains why Triple L was kind of late out of the pits. And as Runelink crosses the line, that is a very respectable 19.3. I'm told the low 19s, high 18s is sort of the ballpark area for a good lap. So we'll see what Finn can do to respond, and he goes 0.8 tenths quicker. So this really sets the benchmark. I think it's we're talking hundredths here rather than tenths as possibly being the difference. Good time as well to mention F1 Simvids provisionally starting P3 in that AlphaTauri. About 7 tenths off of pole, but still time to improve. And well, he's improved already at the first sector timing board. One of only 3 drivers to have gone below 1 minute 20 at the moment, as we see a Ferrari just kindly getting out of the way, and that is really good to see. You know, there's no need to block someone on a fast lap. And up at the next checkpoint, but a bit of a mistake there. That'll be almost certainly an invalid lap, or if not, certainly not the ideal line. A little bit disappointing, I suspect, but still plenty of time to go quicker, so no big deal. Not the end of the world. And yeah, with that little mistake at the end of Ascari, not an improvement. And annoyingly knocked off of the provisional P3 spot by Triple L, who's lining up at the moment right behind his teammates. So that opens up some strategic options for the team. We've got a number of drivers in the pits now, possibly making tweaks to tyre pressures, setup. Last little bits to try and get ready before we start the race for real. But you know, we've got a 15-minute qualifying session here, and we're not even halfway through yet, so still plenty of time to go quicker. I'm suspecting even this is not a representative lap from Ryan, because a 29.3 is that's not setting the world on fire. But I think he can do better. Ryan, I do know, has not done a lot of practice before this for one reason or another. And I will just pause there because Triple L has taken provisional pole away from Finn by half a tenth. So that's interesting. Runelink perhaps return the favour and giving Triple L a tow at some point. I'm not sure. F1 Simvids coming towards the end of a lap. Is it going to be an improvement? If he's held it together, it should be. Not right there. I suspect that was an outlap with the 4 seconds down even. So, see what he can do. Looked a little scruffy into turn 1. Perhaps a bit late on the brakes, but he's got it stopped. As talking about stopped, there's a stopped Aston Martin there. That is Ryan, I suspect, with some sort of an issue. right on the racing line where you do not want a car to be when you're on a hot lap. So hoping that gets resolved quickly, and it looks like it has been. I'm hoping that's not a hardware failure again for Ryan, who had a little bit of issue last time out. Not ideal. F1 Simvid's slightly up at the moment. Might be able to set a quicker time this time around. It's almost a shame AMS2 doesn't have some sort of indicator for which car's which, because while having this track map is nice, it'd be even nicer if I knew which car was where, but alas, maybe that's a feature that'll get added at another point. Who knows? Not me, that's who. So we are more than halfway through our qualifying session now, and the gap from P1 to P3 is about half a tenth, and it's only half a second or less than half a second from P1 to P4. A little bit of a bigger spread further back, but as I've said already, I don't think Ryan set a valid lap just yet, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that 7.5 seconds down. I think there's definitely more time in there, so let's jump on board with Finn for hopefully another attempt at stealing pole position back. I didn't look like the best exit out of turn 1 that perhaps the car can do, but oh well, we can't do anything about that now. We'll be braking at about the 80-metre mark here, and he is up by enough to take pole as well. Oh, nope, scratch that. Runelink's just gone even faster, so while he's on his lap, the benchmark has just moved, and that's going to be an invalidated or ruined lap at the very least. Yep, frustrated return to garage there. Runelink with a little bit of a celebratory slide there, perhaps. Or has he benefited once again from a tow from Triple L, his teammate? It looks like he's trying to warm his tyres up here. As is Triple L behind. Interesting. Well, anyway. Oh. I think we've lost and then got someone back. We have. F1 Simvids is back with no time set, unfortunately. That's a bummer. Well, he doesn't have long, but he can still set a time, I think. As Faffy returns to the pits while at 100 and plus mile an hour. That's just AMS2 things. That's not the line, Ryan. Sorry. Swift. Here in his perhaps divisively liveried Haas, but still, the cars are all equal underneath, even if the Haas was easily the slowest car of the field last year. He's got just as good a chance as anyone else. Let's see. That was an improvement, and it puts him ahead of Maximilian in the Red Bull, so good job Swift, as that's Faffy coming out of the pits. Slight improvement at the moment as well for Triple L. Findict out on track as well. I'm not sure if that delta is Finn's or if that was lingering from Triple L's. Yeah, gravel's not going to be helping, but I think you get an idea just how hard people are pushing here, and this is not what Finn will want to see right now, because that is his title rival starting a full row ahead of him with his teammate alongside. That is going to make passing very difficult. So perhaps as many as 2 attempts at a good lap left, I think. So it's going to have to be something a bit special, braking at about the 100-meter mark here. Overcooked it. That's got to be frustrating. He'll be wanting to get back out again quickly for another go. I think at this point he's got an outlap and a flyer, and that's all he's really got time for. Remember, a good lap here is low 19s, high 18s, so if you want another lap, you've got to start it within the next sort of 5 seconds or so, as sounds like someone's got turn 1 a bit wrong. Finn has in fact got out on track, but has he got enough time left? I don't know. Runelink out on track as well, presumably attempting to better his lap. I don't suppose he really needs to, it's already pole, but you never know. If someone pulls a better lap out of their back pocket, it doesn't hurt to have to try and improve, just to move that margin a little further forwards. Ryan's quietly snuck himself up into 4th position. That's a good effort from Ryan. I'm not seeing any split times at the moment for Runelink, so I don't know if this lap's entirely valid. Well, it might have been, but it wasn't any quicker, and he's going for another one, it looks like. As is Finn. And that is a better turn 1, 2 there. Well, turn 1A and B, I suppose, really. Much smoother exit. Trying to sort of hug that inside. Braking at about the 80-meter mark here. And he is unfortunately down by 2.5 tenths. But that's only after the first sector, and there are 3 of them, so we'll see what else they can do. And that, to me, looked like a pretty good set of Lesmos. Lesmos? Parabolicas? No, Parabolica's the end. Again, doesn't look like it's going to be an improvement, which must be frustrating. Unless you can find about 4 tenths in the final corner just to try and match his lap. Braking late as you'd running all the way out to the outside curbs. And yeah, unfortunately not improving any there, so frustration there for Finn, I'm sure, but there are your qualifying times. Stand by for just a moment. I do want to try and hide my mouse. That's not ideal. There we go, that should have hidden the cursor now, so I'll be able to not have to worry about that. So, 28 laps ahead of us. Apologies for the black screen for a moment there. We have got Runelink with his teammate L starting just behind, and Finn one behind L. So that's our top three for the start sorted. And that's followed up by Ryan, Fly High, Faffy, Swift, Maximilian, and F1 Simvids, who, if you remember, was P4 for a little while, until he had some sort of disconnect and rejoined. I don't know if there was an issue there or whatever. So I'm expecting a one-stop race here. I don't believe the tyre deck is so bad as to call for 2 stops, which perhaps isn't too surprising when you consider the amount of full throttle, more or less straight line driving you do here at Monza, and possibly even softs all the way to the end. So we will have to see. As the lights go out, it looks like a fairly good getaway from most, but Faffy there on the back, not getting away at all. Possibly stalled on the grid, and it should be a fairly cautious turn 1, but there's some contact there, unfortunately, between it looked like Ryan and Findict. Now, Finn in particular is not going to be happy with that. That is one more car ahead of him and his title rival, but I've noticed as well, Runelink and Triple L have switched order as well. So that's possibly something team orders will resolve later on, and goes a little bit from bad to worse for Finn as he's off track and getting passed by just about everyone. Trying to hang it around the outside with Maximilian for a moment there, and he's down into 8th place, having started 3rd. So not the sort of a start he wanted at all, and it's not gone brilliantly for Faffy either, who's apparently some sort of stall on the start and is now some way off the back. But at the front of the race, we've got Runelink running away with it with Triple L. Ryan already a 2-second gap, more or less, 1.5 2-second gap to the car ahead or the leader, depending on exactly when you look and at what. So this might be the might be a switch for position coming up here, or maybe they're just going to be content to stay in this order for a little bit, try and build a bit of a gap. But yeah, that is a very solid start for the McLaren team. Not a bad start for Ryan as well. Swift in the Haas made his way up into 4th place, which is well, I don't normally see Haas as quite that high up the order, but Finn here's made a move on Maximilian to gain 1 position back, and he's now got Fly High ahead of him, with a gap of around 1.5 seconds to close to try and gain that position back as well. We've also got F1 Simvids and Swift here in a lovely little battle. 2 drivers really close this far into the season. Yeah, there's a lot of respect being developed, and it looks like no contact, just giving F1 Simvids a bit of a squeeze there. And F1 Simvids is through into 4th place. So excellent work from F1 Simvids. We've got Fly High now on the back of Swift, applying a little bit of pressure. Oh, well, that's gone poorly for the Red Bull team. Yeah, not ideal. I don't know what more I can say about that, really, other than it's gone poorly. So that was Fly High and Maximilian, I believe. So a small mistake on someone's part. But it is what it is. So, Runelink here, still just sort of sitting behind L. I'm not sure if there are team orders. Oh, no! Oh, right. That is Runelink. Was Runelink upside down. be careful, F1 Simvids. Anyone Ryan's been near has been killed tonight, so I'd be careful if I was you. It's currently 3rd position for F1 Simvids. Now, it didn't look like Ryan was necessarily to blame there with the contact with Runelink. I think Runelink had some sort of an issue, and maybe he's got the rear out. But yeah, that's a bummer for both of the title contenders here. Runelink now battling with Faffy. Faffy's got a 6-second gap to Ryan, who's gone into pits, possibly with damage here. Remember, damage is enabled, and Runelink heading for the pits as well, so that is going to change strategy somewhat, I think. There's contact, unfortunately, between Finn and Swift. So before the race, we were told probably the strategy a lot of people's going to opt for is 2 sets of softs, but I don't think they're going to want to do that if they're going to have to do 24 laps on a set of softs. So that might be some dynamic on-the-go strategy changes. I understand the mediums are a viable tyre, but the hards perhaps not so much. So we're 4 laps in, and there's already been plenty of drama, and well, you can't really see the qualifying results in the order of the race at the moment. F1 Simvids, who started on the back row, is now 2nd. Finn's fairly close to where they started. Triple L's moved up 1 position, but Runelink and Ryan are definitely not where you expected them to be. And Runelink, unfortunately, still in the pits as Finn heads round Parabolica. And I think, yep, that is Runelink now a lap down. So that's going to be a lot of work to get done if he wants to fight for a championship. Never mind the win. That's suggesting a lot of damage to me there. I mean, he was upside down, so I don't know what else you expect. But definitely a shame. As Ryan into the pits, I thought he'd already been in. So probably the wrong compound. Yeah, I'm glad that was just a camera glitch, and Finn is indeed still rubber side down. So a slightly unusual position here for Finn, as he's got his title rival just 2 cars ahead of him, trying to chase him down, but it's not for position. It's not what Runelink's gonna want to hear, and it's probably not what Finn wanted to hear either. I suspect they'll have been hoping for a fight on track, and probably not to have spent time in the pits just yet. It's definitely going to have disrupted their strategy. But this looks to be possibly the closest fight we've got on track at the moment, with Finn just about a second behind Swift as we head down into turn 1. Probably not going to try anything too crazy. After all, there's potentially a lot of risk here and not a lot of reward. I mean, you can move up a couple of positions, but you might be able to do that on strategy as well, without the risk of perhaps another collision. And right now, there's not a lot of need to push with Runelink. Currently a lap down and last, which is obviously not where we wanted them to be. Up towards the front as well, we've got F1 Simvids applying pressure to Triple L. So that gap's only around 1.5 seconds, something like that. So this is really a strong performance from F1 Simvids, who's definitely shown promise in early rounds, but I think through bad luck or issues has not probably had the season they've wanted to, but definitely a day in the sunlight right now as they're closing the gap to Triple L. So it's a little bit far back to go for a move from this far away, but well, I say that he's having a look and close that gap down about 0.3 in one braking zone. So that is a a strong send and clean, fair. So no argument with that one. As we've got little pairings here, so F1 Simvids is fighting with Triple L as Finn and Swift are fighting as well, and I think that is moved on for Finn. Now this might look like McLaren. Well, that McLaren, the second McLaren is Runelink, currently a lap down. Otherwise, this would be a P1-2-3 battle. So this is going to be a difficult one for Runelink. I'll probably be hoping for them to get out of the way on pit stop strategy if possible, but right now I don't think the two cars ahead of him are going to be worried about that as they get incredibly close through the final turn here. Not managing to get an overlap, and that is very defensive straight away from Triple L, and fair enough. You know what? He's got the better run as well. It looks like he's pulling away, so better job getting on the power. Possibly close enough for a look up the inside. Moved a bit late there, but no contact. Live to fight another day. This is very good racing, and we've still got 20-something laps to go, so I hope you're enjoying it. I am, I can say that for sure. Monza here showing possibly why it's a bit of a fan favourite. We've got some pretty close battles. Faffy here as well, trying to chase down Maximilian, who might have been one of those airborne Red Bulls that we saw earlier. We've also got Swift still trying to hang on to Findict, who looks like he is pulling a bit of a gap. And probably the closest, well, definitely the closest battle at the moment is F1 Simvids and Triple L. But this might be about to get disrupted by Runelink trying to unlap himself, and it looks like F1 Simvids letting him through there. Hopefully Runelink can clear Triple L as well shortly, and then we can let this battle resume. As we're going 3 wide into turn 1. Oh, this is brave. And somehow F1 Simvids is in first place. He's ahead of both of the McLarens again. That is an incredible bit of driving. Very tidy indeed. Wow, played that one brilliantly as Triple L looking for a move around the outside. Wow, this is some tight racing. Again, didn't... Oh, no! Oh, absolute disaster for Triple L there. A little bit of wheel spin and just lost the rear. It's going to be frustrating. Well, that doesn't detract from what had been a fantastic battle and very enjoyable from my comfortable seat in the commentary booth. Hopefully the tyres are okay. It didn't look like anything hit, so should just be time loss and possibly a little bit of a knock to the ego. But pointing the right way again now and on the move, so that's good. Now Finn might be seeing that McLaren behind him in his mirrors and thinking this looks awfully familiar. Triple L, of course, the teammate to Runelink in the sister McLaren. So Finn might be worried seeing a McLaren behind him, but perhaps a little more relaxed when he knows it's not Runelink. Doesn't mean he can ease off, of course. This is still for position, and while this specific battle might not be for the championship fight, Triple L can still take points away from Finn. That might be important. So significant battle still nonetheless. as we're sort of approaching the halfway mark. We're not too far off now. So a lot of drivers might be looking for a one-stop race, 2 sets of softs getting used. So if that is the case, I think we can expect pit stops within the next sort of 5 laps or so. Just to try and make sure the tyres never get too badly worn. Let's see. Oh, another little bit of an issue there for Triple L at turn 1. Yeah, rejoined fairly safely. Not too bad. Is Maximilian through though, so it's a bit of a disappointing fall there on L's part from battling for the lead to down to 5th, but we're not even halfway yet, so there's still plenty of time. So I believe this is from the back row, or certainly from, I think 8th at best. F1 Simvid's now in the lead of the race, and by 9 seconds as well. That's no small gap. So you can be proud of a lead like that. That is not to be sniffed at. Faffy and L here having a nice little scrap between them as we head into the final turn. Is an impressive drive all the way around the outside on the part of Faffy, and heading into the pit lane for Triple L. Probably for a new set of boots and possibly a change of underwear. Can't be certain. So Finn's nose cam here as he heads through Curva Grande into the second of the chicanes, and the car ahead there is the horse of Swift with a roughly 2-second gap. Faffy not letting Maximilian go at all. Still playing to fight for, perhaps just outside of slipstream range here, but up on the best lap, so that's promising. Some good pace from Faffy here. A good pace as well from Maximilian, who's doesn't seem to be struggling with the pressure particularly. Still keeping that gap around 1.8 seconds, so that's a healthy margin just outside of slipstream. But that'll be keeping him honest. He can't afford to ease up particularly. And Findict as well, not really making any dent on the gap to Swift. Again, around 1.8, so this is possibly the sort of dirty air starting to interfere with their ability to take corners as quickly as they can. Should be less of an issue with the newer F1 cars coming next year. But that's not what these guys have, so they're just going to have to try and deal with it as best as they can. Fairly healthy lead, well, not lead, but gap to Maximilian. For Finn here, around 5 seconds, perhaps 6 seconds. So a little bit of a stalemate right now, so this is probably the point where drivers are maybe feeling a little bit of wear on the softs, or if they're still feeling okay, might be pushing them, trying to get the money's worth out of them, or possibly extending. And as I start discussing pit stop, that's when Finn comes in. So this is slap bang halfway through the race. Tied a little stop in the pit box, and the team's going to go to work on that one. So Finn's pitted, so is Triple L, unless I'm terribly mistaken, but That looks to be right. And yeah, I suspect there was possibly damage there, Triple L, or the time loss, but wasn't really that threatening to Finn when Finn came out of the pits there. So Ryan has stopped already, of course, with damage earlier on. Possibly on mediums now. Limited practice on Ryan's part, and I know that much. He's admitted to that one already before the race started, so I don't know how much medium tyre practice he'll have done. Hopefully some. If not, well, you get better practice now. Quick glance back at the Faffy and Maximilian gap. Staying around the same, fluctuating a little bit. Swift's in the pits, Faffy diving for the pit lane as well. So Maximilian then taking P2 on track with Swift in the pits, but no sign of F1 Simvid stopping yet. And he is holding up Runelink behind. Remember, Runelink started from pole position in a championship battle with Findict, and well, looking at the back of an Alpha Tower, he's not where Runelink will want to be, but he can't afford to make any crazy moves and make contact, because that's not going to make his day any better. I wonder if F1 Simvids realises that's not for position, the car behind him. I hope so. I think Runelink's hope really here is that F1 Simvids pits and gets out of his way in that manner. And it looks like no, he's decided to do at least one more lap on them, so I imagine quite a frustrated Runelink right about now. But it looks like he is going to get the pass done. Nice and clean, solid run, and he's that's now him unlapped, just about. I mean that's not far off being lapped, but yeah, Runelink with the legs on F1 Simvids. Just unfortunately and last with some issues earlier. So, as I think that wasn't Maximilian, so it would have been Fly High, just being passed off track there, unfortunately. And that is halfway into the race. Runelink has gained one of his positions back, so that's little consolation, I would imagine. Gap ahead, though, was to Ryan, who, well, yeah, you can't park that there, mate. That's possibly some sort of issue. So that's 2 positions in 2 laps. This is good progress. He could be in the lead if he keeps this rate of progress up, but I suspect the remaining overtake is going to be a little bit more difficult. F1 Simvid's finally diving for the pit lane. I'm interested to see who's going to be our leader after this is all said and done. Maximilian also diving for the pit lane. F1 Simvids, it looks like, has got moving again from his pit stop and is indeed out of the pits. So he's managed to hold on to the lead, but I think all of that defending from Runelink earlier perhaps cost him a little bit of time, because the gap to Finn only around 5 to 6 seconds, and it looks like we do have a retirement from Ryan there, unfortunately. Possibly a mechanical issue, but certainly facing the wrong way and in a wall. Not where you want to be, as I believe that's possibly our final driver pitting now, Fly High. So I think that's our pit cycle now over and done with, barring any damage or melted tyres. So a slightly unusual sight for those of you who've been keeping up with the F1 season last year. F1 Simvids in an Alpha Tauri in the lead, by about 4 or 5 seconds. Findict and a Ferrari in second. Yeah, that's plausible. Swift and a Ferrari in third. Well, you'd have to see it to believe it, and I'm seeing it right now. Possibly wouldn't have happened in person last year, but that's the beauty of Sims. We've got a level playing field here, so all the drivers equal opportunities, as I did mention earlier. So these time gap fluctuations, a little, they do fluctuate quite a lot, so it can be kind of hard to read into the gaps. But it does appear that Finn might be catching F1 Simvids. It looks like with a pit stop, so his outlap of a 26.2. Not brilliant. The 21.1 from Finn last time around, which is better, so we'll have to see what can F1 Simvids do on this, their first flying lap. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Runelink, fastest driver on track right now, with a best lap of a 21.003. So close to a 20. I believe he can probably beat that. I'm not worried about that, but he's got a lot of work to do if he does want to claw any of those positions back. And while it looks like Finn's definitely in with a shot at winning this race. So F1 Simvids there at 22.758. Finn doing a 21.5. So that gap's coming down. Finn's going to be all over him like a rash in a few laps if this keeps up. And a little further back, we've got Swift chasing down, being chased down, sorry, by L. He's being chased down by Faffy. So that's P3, 4 and 5, all, well, I wouldn't say nose to tail, but certainly close enough that if any one of them makes a mistake, that gap can come down. And Faffy, the 5th place driver right now, has got the fastest lap of all 3 of them. So we could see a podium from Faffy this round, which would be very nice to see. We will just have to see if Faffy can perhaps close this gap down a little bit and manage to keep closing it even in the dirty air, which would be nice. But we have seen drivers struggling with that so far, and well, we're down to less than 10 laps to go. So he's not got too much time to play with, but there's still time. No need to go mad just yet. See Ryan in the chat there. Hello, Ryan. Showing his support for F1 Simvids. Currently in the lead by around 2.3 seconds. But right now, this is the closer battle on track, as Triple L has got within around 0.6 of Swift ahead in the Haas. Can't do anything that's going to cost them too much time though, because Faffy is only 2 seconds behind, a second and a half, something like that. So if these two start battling, that's just going to draw them even closer to Faffy, and well, I think he'll be rubbing his hands with joy thinking about that one, and possibly a P3. Remember, it's Faffy who appeared to have stalled on the start or had some sort of issue and was about 5 seconds off of 8th place at the start of the race. So that would be a real turnaround if Faffy can pull off a third here, but I think L and Swift are gonna probably try and hang on to their positions. They'll have something to say about that, I'm sure. So this gap between Triple L and Swift just going out a little bit further, possibly, well, probably down to dirty air. Here's a bit of a run into turn 1, but not managed to make anything of it just yet. And the gap between Finn and F1 Simvids appears to have stagnated as well, around 2 seconds. Triple L here piling on the pressure to Swift, who's so far coped with it very well. Not going defensive, just confident driving their own lines, and it's working for now. I think this is probably the closest Triple L's been for a little while. Not really an overtaking opportunity here, but he's got the inside for the first part, and he is through. So I guess scrap what I said about this not being an overtaking opportunity. He's done it anyway. It's under pressure immediately from Swift trying to get that position back, and straight down into turn 1 is going to be a really good spot for a return send. And it looks like there's an overlap there. There is a slight overlap there, a little bit of wheel rubbing. Oh, this is close, and Swift back ahead. That is a very nice battle. Hopefully they both get it stopped for this corner, and well, it's quickly got it pointed the right way. Again, I think brown alert for Faffy there. A very good, hard-fought battle. Excellent stuff. So that's Swift successfully held on to their P3 for now. Faffy now ahead of Triple L, whose rear tyres are probably around the same temperature as the surface of the sun right about now. So we've got any viewer predictions then? Who do we think can F1 Simvids hang on with, what, 6 laps to go? Right now it's looking like it. Finn's not really closing that gap any further down, maybe a 10th here, a 10th there. I think this is probably seeing dirty air here being their biggest problem. F1 Simvids as well, if you remember, pitted a little bit later, so Finn was end of lap 13. Finn came in, and F1 Simvids came in, I think, at the end of 17, maybe 13. So the tyre advantage is in F1 Simvids' favour right now. Yeah, 3 laps fresh. It doesn't sound like a massive difference, but any advantage is an advantage worth taking. So, talking of advantages, the advantage Swift had over Faffy down to less than a second. Now, I've already seen a number of examples in this race of following cars being able to get a very good exit out of Parabolica and into turn 1, getting a good run and managing to make a move sometimes before turn 1 with the toe, but no such luck this lap for Faffy. Slightly poorer exit, as I've noticed as well that 2-second gap that existed between F1 Simvids and Findict down to less than 1 right now, so this is definitely within the slipstream range. 4 laps to go, something like that. I can see the dirty air just getting chucked up from the car ahead and robbing you of downforce, running a little bit wide there. F1 Simvids wide of the apex, Finn sort of following there it looks like, but this is definitely in the danger zone now. Half a second back on a flat out run into turn 1. Could this be the lap? Gonna have to go to the outside the long way around. Still there, but he is ahead. a little bit of contact, and that is Finn through. That looked like a pretty clean move to me. And that is Findict into the lead of the race. Started P3. This is an impressive drive so far. And if you remember the two cars that started ahead of him, Triple L and Runelink, not currently challenging him. So this is by no means can he relax, as F1 Simvids have demolishes a sign just behind him. But Finn's got pressure here from F1 Simvids, who's been going pretty well as Runelink goes into the pits again, possibly with slightly killed tyres. So the pressure's still on Findict here. F1 Simvids keeping him honest. Really can't afford to let up, especially not with the slipstream benefits that you can gain from Monza. Doesn't look like F1 Simvids has got a brilliant toe at the moment, perhaps a little bit far back. Wouldn't have thought it was close enough for a move. Little bit of contact, that was bold, but they've both kept it pointing the right way, so no harm, no foul. If you remember, F1 Simvids about 3 laps fresher tyres. So if you've got a tyre advantage, yep, now is definitely the time to use it. A little bit further back, we've got a battle between Faffy and Triple L. Must have been one hell of a toe down into turn 1 there. Faffy on a strong drive today. This is looking good, and a nice little battle as well. Sticking close to Triple L. Doesn't seem to be having too bad a time in the dirty air either. That looked like a pretty tidy line. Triple L not seemingly going defensive here. Oh, no, he is now. And back onto the racing line. Move covered off. If Faffy can stay this close into turn 1, this is a prime opportunity for a pass down into turn 1 and just slightly outbrake them. Oh, and a bit of a wobble at the apex for Triple L, and that is Faffy through. Excellent. But Triple L now in the tow, responding. Faffy not covering off the inside. So Triple L's got the inside for turn 1 here. It's back ahead. Can he get it stopped? It's a bit late on the brakes, but he has got it stopped. A little bit of a hurry up nudge there, and Triple L back ahead of Faffy. Excellent stuff. That was exciting for penultimate lap. Yeah, these guys are pushing. Oh dear. Slightly misjudged braking points there, I suspect. Oh. Oh, that's not ideal. Unfortunate little bit of contact there between Faffy and Triple L heading into Parabolica. Not quite sure, but hopefully the stewards will be able to have a look at that one later. But we are on the final lap now. Decent gap of around 2.5 seconds between Finn and F1 Simvids here. So it's not time to breeze just yet. It's not out of the woods, but one major corner left. And this will be victory secured for Findict. Just got to hold it together now. There we go. This is it. An excellent win for Findict. A little bit of a celebration there. Very well done, F1 Simvids. Excellent second place there. And we see Swift in the Haas rounding the final turn now as well. For a very respectable third place. That is, I suspect, is it Fly High? Just ahead of Faffy, coming across the line as well. A couple of our back markers done. Triple L rounding the final corner now as well with Maximilian about 2 seconds behind, so he's not had to worry too much about that one. And probably a pretty frustrated Runelink. Gonna be the last one home today. So definitely not the race he would have wanted, but an excellent result for a lot of our drivers today. Strong finish for Finn, F1 Simvids, and Swift to complete the podium, and that's your Monza race done. So we will try and get some some interviews done, but that is your race done for now. So if you stand by, we will get Finn in for an interview. I'm joined now by Finn in the comms booth. Finn, congratulations, a very strong result, starting from third. Tell me, what was your thinking at the start of the race with both of the McLarens ahead of you?
A bit terrifying. I was thinking one McLaren I could probably have, both of them ahead of me, probably means I get boxed in into turn one, and that's exactly what happened. And yeah, that's kind of what I expected. And then after that, other disasters happened.
Excellent. So, while your rival seemed to have struggled with particularly Runelink not having a brilliant race today with some incidents, you've managed to secure some really important championship points today. What was your view on some of the earlier incidents? There was a McLaren upside down at one point. Did you see that?
I did see the McLaren upside down. That was Runelink when I passed him. I'm not sure what happened there. Apparently, there was a bit of a bug in the game, which we pretend is a mechanical issue in the car to keep it realistic. But and otherwise, at the start, I know turn one, turn two, turn one I broke. I think where I'm meant to be, but I released a little bit too early because I expected Runelink to carry more speed through the corner, which he didn't. There was a minor collision, no spins, nothing major, so I was alright with that. Ryan on my outside kept it quite clean, but it was like I was completely boxed in, had nowhere to go. But I was quite happy with how the start went overall before turn two, where I made a big mistake.
Excellent. So your strategy there was sort of followed perhaps the predictable split the race into two halves, and I'm assuming both runs on softs.
The strategy was going to be run longer, but I was really struggling on the tires. I'd already had a lot of moments sliding and everything, so the tires weren't at their best. So I was looking at boxing earlier. I was right behind Swift when I was thinking about that, and I at lap 13 I said, okay, I'm just doing opposite of what he does. If he goes in, I'm staying out, but he stayed out, so I just boxed and tried to undercut him, which worked quite well.
Excellent. So that is a very strong result. Some very solid lap times, and that's what, one more round after this.
Yeah, exactly. And it might be winner takes all with Runelink, but I'll do the maths in a moment. And I'll actually, can I do that right now? I might have it open.
I suppose
Let's
you can
see.
do, but we might come back to that one later.
All right.
And we'll get some of our other drivers in for interviews in the meantime. So
I can actually confirm it will be winner takes all. Yeah, it will be winner takes all next
there you
next
go.
race.
winner takes all at the next race. So that is definitely worth tuning in for. I would say. So excellent drive, Findict, once again. Congratulations, and we'll see you around.
Thank you very much. I'm going to see if Simvids can come in. I do want to say, before you pull me out, he had an excellent race at the end. I'm not sure how much of that was caught. It was very... he really had a really good pace, but my second stint was quite consistent. It was tough getting close to him, but once you get close, the slipstream is actually more dominant than the dirty A, so you get a lot more chances.
Yeah.
And we kept it really clean, really nice, really tidy, and I was really happy with that battle. So yeah, thanks for the battle, and I'll see if I can pull him in a moment.
We did see some of that. That was a very good fight. Very much enjoyed that one. So thank you once again, Finn, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, joined now by Swift. Swift P3. Yeah. Congratulations, very good drive.
Thank you. Again, didn't expect that. So.
No, what was your perspective on that race? And you've managed to get a very strong result. What was the trick to it? Just keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble.
I don't know. I mean, there was like a couple battles, and I want to check them on the replay, how it was like from my side, because I'm always worried, like, you know, to make it as clean as possible from my side. So
yeah,
I'm really happy with podium again. I didn't expect that, especially in Monza, because I tried like for last 3 days to pass the 120 second marker. Yeah. And I couldn't, and I didn't need it at the end, so I mean, it's good.
That is a very strong result, and it looked like you got involved in some pretty nice battles as well. That three-way battle between yourself, Faffy, and Triple L was...
yeah, you watched that? Okay,
I did,
cool.
Yeah, we managed to catch that live, if you watch the stream back, sorry.
Okay, cool, I have to see that, because... I mean, yeah, it was intense on the straight to break like with Triple L. It was fun, yeah.
Yeah, it was
and I
very
always
enjoyable.
thought, and also I think the not Simvits, but I don't know who it was. He like a spun in the second chicane, and I wasn't sure like if I didn't do something wrong there, but I don't know.
Well, that'll be something for the stewards to look at if they feel like it's necessary. But until then, it's a P3, a very, very strong result, and yeah, congratulations once again. Enjoy it.
Thanks.
Very well.
Can I just say a couple highs to some people?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Zdar bratře a čau Toníku. Zdar. And also, if I can say hi to Race Up, Maximilian, and Fly High.
Brilliant.
And that's all from my Triple L, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Lovely. Okay. So good. Nice couple of shout outs there. So excellent result, mate. Very well done. A well deserved P3. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
For now.
Guys.
You too.
Bye.
And finally, we're gonna get F1 Simvids in. F1 Simvids, hello, P2. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Hello. Yeah, thank you. It was a crazy race.
Crazy indeed.
I managed to avoid quite a few incidents, and yeah, I thought I had P1 in the bag, but it was way too quick. So yeah, it was a great race.
It looked like a P1 in the bag for a long time. That gap stayed at around 2 seconds for a long time, and then just when I wasn't looking, it somehow dropped down to just under a second there. Was there a mistake or something on your part?
No, I don't think that there was any mistake. I think Finn just had a bit more pace. And yeah, sort of, you know, when you're in the lead, getting a bit nervous.
Oh, definitely.
So you're never driving like 100% maximum.
No.
Yeah, I just lost it then.
It was it was still a very, very good battle, and I think you had the tyre advantage on Finn, who'd pitted at the end of lap 13, whereas you'd left it about 3 laps longer. So, did you feel like there was any tyre advantage there, or was it fairly even between the two of you?
I think the tyres really kept up on this track, so I don't think there was any advantage. It was actually quite funny because I was going to pit earlier, really. But I had one of the McLarens behind me, and I couldn't tell whether he was in P2. So I was sort of just battling with him. He overtook me. He was actually in P9. I didn't even realize.
Yep.
Oh, great! I've been battling with a flapped car.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I was really not in. I was expecting Finn to sort of, he was behind me for what, something like 8 laps after I pitted,
Yeah, it
or
was a
more than
long
that. So
time.
I was actually expecting him to sort of pit. But yeah, as you say, he's pitted earlier, which I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, that McLaren behind you that we were battling for a long time was Runelink. So there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
You went toe to toe with Runelink for a little bit.
Yeah, I had a great battle with the McLarens. Actually, we were free going into turn 1. We were free basically together.
Yep.
I was in the middle, and the guy on my right sort of broke a bit earlier, so I was able to just make the corner. Otherwise, yeah, that would have been a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, it could have been. And Peter as well from not particularly far forward on the grid. I think you were what, 8th at the start?
Yeah, I started last. I was actually surprisingly, my quali pace was pretty decent.
Yeah, you were 4th for a
And
while.
I actually wanted to start last. So I purposely left the session.
Ah, no
and leave
way!
front. Yeah, I wanted to start last because let me have some fun. So that's why I started last, basically.
Oh, well, you must have been kicking yourself when Finn was on you with a couple of laps to go, thinking, I thought I had started 4th.
Yeah, yeah, it would have been good to win a race, but I'm just all here for the fun. It was nice just having the battles.
Yeah, and what a battle it was. Kept me on the edge of my seat. Very much enjoyed that one.
Yeah, thank you.
F1 Simvids, thank you very much. I'll let you get back to the rest of the gang.
Thank you. All right, see you, man. Take care.
Bye for now. So that is this round over and done with. So join us next time out for the final race of the series. Winner takes all between Runelink and Findict. I haven't checked ahead where the actual next round is, which is all very clever of me, but there you go. Some people just can't get the stuff these days anyway. So thank you for everyone who's been watching. Thank you to all of our drivers. Take care and goodbye for now.